Hi everyone, so today we're going to look at another card made with two 6-inch square cards put together. Okay, so here is the card that we're going to make. It has lots of different variations and I'll show you at the end how we do it with different size cards. So here are my two 6-inch cards. And we're going to take one, no measuring, and we're going to fold back the front half and burnish folds. And then we're going to take the back half and fold that. So we haven't done any measuring and burnish there. So we end up with this W. Okay, so that is going to fit inside the card like that. So they're both the same size. Right, the thing we need to do next is to put an aperture in here. Now if you've got dies, you can cut half of a shape. You can use something like your double-sided tape or sellotape to draw around and do a particular shape. You can do a rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this topper sheet for my decoration, and I'm going to take this topper and put it on the front of the card, but I'm going to take this aperture here and I'm going to use that to make my aperture in my card. So I've marked the halfway point, top and bottom, and I'm going to ease it up there so it's half, and I'm just going to draw around with a pencil half of that shape. There we go. So I have half of my shape. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around the shape. But when I've cut around this scallop, I'm going to cut into here. So there we go. Which means I can get a nice smooth edge, getting my scissors right in to where I want it. Okay, I don't need this bit in the middle. Nearly there. And I'm just going to take my bone folder and just smooth it round. Now any pencil lines you can rub out, but let's fold it back again, and when we open it, there you can see our aperture that we've got in the middle, and actually that would slot straight into it if we wanted to. So I'm going to take this, and that will be in there, but we see a blank bit in the middle. So what I want to do is to put a backing paper inside there that will complement my design. What I want to do is to line the inside of my aperture. So this is 15 centimeters. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of paper that is just slightly under and the same width. So I need one that is about 15 centimeters or 6 inches long, and 6 inches wide. Okay, so half of one of those to begin with. And I'm going to slightly fold it, just gently, and then across here I'm going to put 3 strips of double-sided tape. So not all the way round, because we want this to have some movement as the card flexes. So the little crease here tells me which way it will crease, and I take this now, and this is going to go in my card while it's flat. I'm just checking the writing is up the right way. Line that up. We're not worried about these will be covered. But that now, if I pop that back on, you can see the aperture is covered inside. Okay, right. So let's go and fold that. Make sure it now creases because it's 2 layers of paper in there. There's no gaping at the top or the bottom, and we're going to do the front of the card. Now it's 6 inches around, so we're going to cut a piece of paper. We're going to cut it, let's say 5.5. So 14 centimetres, 5.5 inches. There we go. That is going to go on the front of my card, and I think we'll put a silver border all the way around it. So now I have my silver, and I always stick down my piece of paper and then cut round to make my mats. I'm going to use fancy scissors on this one. So turn it over, place it in the middle, because my scissors need room to hang on to the paper. You cannot nibble off an edge with fancy scissors. You need it to have this width of card at least to hang on to, and then you'll get no shredding of the scissors. Okay, it doesn't matter whether they're expensive scissors, they will all shred if they haven't got enough paper to hang on to. So I'm putting the points of my scissors against the square in the middle, and that way I'm getting a perfect border all the way round. Always cut straight on past at the end. Yep. Right, so now if we take this will go on perfectly with just a small white border all the way round. As usual, I try and do everything from your craft stash, so all we're using today is a topper. It can be any picture, any decoupage, anything, and some backing papers. So on that goes, and already it's looking a beautiful card. So I'm going to find my topper, that's going to go onto there. You can use whatever glue you have, but if I use the tape, I don't have to wait for the glue to dry. Turn it round so it's the right way up, and on it goes. Now on the topper sheet that I've got, it's got lots of different corners, borders, so we'll look at that later and see what we want to do, because I could well put corners on here. So let's open it out now, and we're going to deal with this bit. So this will be 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters and 15 long. So I'll take my sheet here, and I'm going to cut 7.5 7.5 and 15. You can see that there is something amiss. One of these has gone slightly off, so I'm going to cut a little bit off there. Okay, so this will be a little bit away from my crease, which I want, and I'm going to place those on. I could put silver around these as well, but you can do anything that you have in your stash. So it can be a quick card or a longer one. So I'm going to line up with the edge of my card here. Right. Always make sure that you don't interfere with the crease on your card. Right, so now I can fold that back, and I want 2 strips of double-sided tape. Strips of double-sided tape, and now this is the magic bit. It's difficult getting this to go exactly right inside, so I'm going to fold it up so it's like a little book, place it on here, and I'm going to expose these pieces. It doesn't matter which way you do it, but your glue that you've got now unprotected, we're going to fold this down on the top, turn it over, take your next lot of tape covers off, and just fold it down on the top. So it is now perfectly positioned in your card. Right. Let's have a look. We've got here. I've got some greetings. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. But I think I'm going for wishing you a very happy birthday. So I'm taking that one out. There. I'm going to take my 4 corners. Haven't decided where they're going yet. 1, 2, 3. There's my 4 corners. Now I've got plenty more to use on here, but we'll put that to one side for the moment. Right, now I've got the message, which I would like to go on the inside. The corners I can put on here, that, or they can go on the front of my card. I think I've got enough decoration on the front, and this is really nice paper to carry on with. So let's open it out, and we're going to apply glue. I want a tiny bit of wiggle room putting these on, just to make sure they're right. So I'm going to place them so that they're in from the corner just a fraction. And we're just going to give that a couple of minutes to set, because I don't want them moving around. There we go. So that's all set. Now I think I'm going to have wishing you a very happy birthday on there, but I want to add something else around this aperture and maybe inside. So we'll have a look what we can find for that. Some pretty flowers that are very spring-like. So this is decoupage, so there's usually 3 or 4 layers. Okay. Never be afraid to cut into your decoupage to make it go further. So let's have a look what we've got here. And I can put anything overhanging my aperture so long as it doesn't come past the halfway mark. So I'm going to snip bottom there. And I'm going to put double-sided on here. I don't want to put sticky fixers to raise it, because it's going to be quite a thick card to begin with. So I'm going to take that now, and careful not to go into the crease here, and careful to not go past the halfway mark. So let's have a look. I think I'm going to have that just inside so that the message is hidden a little. So we're going to have wishing you a very happy birthday inside. Let's make sure that that is straight. Oops. Okay, don't worry about that. We can put that straight back in. My greeting is going to cover that, and a little bit of wet glue. There we go. So I'm going to go with wet glue on that one now to make sure that my repair on the paper is going to stay, so nobody will ever know that I did that. Okay, so let's have a look what we've got here. I think I'm going to trim that down, and that's going to look really pretty. So I want to go along the bottom and again I'm not coming further than halfway, and I'm making sure I am clear of my card fold. And we've got one little extra bit here. And I'm actually going to add this to the inside. Still setting. Right, so we now have the outside, open it up inside, and we've got this which is going round our aperture. We've got the four corners up here, we've got a greeting, and we've taken the flowers from the outside just inside. Okay, so a beautiful card and fairly easy to do from two 6-inch square cards. So let's come back to this one, which was wishing you a beautiful day. Okay, this one I have put the metallics around the strips here, so I've just cut them a bit smaller. This one, beautiful one, and if you look here, we've got a rectangular aperture. So all I've done there is just cut in with fancy scissors around. This one I've actually just sliced down the middle because I wanted to put the same flowers inside. So long as it doesn't get affected by the fold, you can just slice your decoupage. Okay. Now, I did explain at the beginning that you can make this out of any size card. So here we have an A5 card, two A5 cards. One has been folded exactly the same. So we've taken the, I can do this and do an extra bit. We've taken the larger piece of card, we folded it in half, and we fold back, so no measuring. So we reverse those folds. There is our W, and you can simply cut any aperture, even a freehand one, out from your card. Okay, so that's just placed on the inside of a normal card. And this one I've done a bird on the outside, and we've got a little bird inside the hole there. Okay. So very little measuring, a little piece of backing paper to go on the inside, and a strip either side which you can make to fit your card. Okay, so do try it and have fun, and God bless you all.